I cannot think of a country in the world that has a stricter standard of beauty and so much pressure to be beautiful. At least not one that's been highly publicized. And you might say to yourself, well, what does this have to do with KBeauty? Because I mean, if you just use skincare products from somewhere, or if you just use makeup from a country, like, that's just you buying a product and using it. What does that have to do with you and that country's standard of beauty? Like, if I buy French products, that does not mean that I'm suddenly going to adapt to a French standard of beauty, whatever that is. I think French women like the more natural look. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's this thing of like red lips, curly hair for French people. But I could be wrong about that. I don't know much about France. But you know, there is this like standard of beauty for most countries. Let me go this way. And when it comes to South Korea, a lot of people become interested in KBeauty because either they first got interested in Korean culture through K-pop, K-dramas, something like that. Either they come to Korea and they become interested and they try out all the products, or maybe they just came across the products because they love skincare and they don't give a about like Korean culture, but they just know that Korean products are good and so they use them. But if you are someone who is using KBeauty because you are also interested in Korea and Korean things, then there's a big chance that by taking in all this media, let's say, that, well, for like the female standard of beauty, if you're taking in all this media that is like different to yours, there might be things that you were never insecure about before that you start to be insecure about. And it's funny, sometimes the Korean beauty standard is reflected actually in some of the products. For example, maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I think I am. I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but okay, let me get ahead of myself. So sometimes the actual standards of Korean beauty are reflected in the products. So what are the general standards of beauty in South Korea? They would be number one, very skinny. Some people talk about like an S line body shape and this and that, but I mean the Korean standard of curvy is very different than what rappers in a music video are rapping about. So I mean, like a Western music video, not a Korean hip-hop video. So when they say they want like a girl who's curvy, they still kind of mean, like a B cup and like still quite skinny, you could say, by Western standards. That's number one. Skinny. Small face, high nose, pale skin, big eyes. And then there's many other things too. But that's the overall beauty standard, you could say, of South Korea. So, how would you say that this is related to the products that you use? Well, you might think, oh, well, if I use Korean beauty products, if you don't inject yourself with like Korean media, like K-pop and Oh yeah, let's go this way. Like K-pop and dramas and all that stuff. Sure, like maybe you can escape it. But a lot of Korean skincare products have like skin bleaching in them. Have skin bleaching in them, or like they call it brightening effect or whitening effect, to make your skin more pale, because the beauty standard here is being pale. It's a bit like, you know, like there used to be those creams that were like moisturizer tanners to make you more tan, because mostly in the West being tanned for a white person or like a non-black person is seen as like the beauty standard. But the problem with that is I am hella pale. Hella pale. Like I am, child, I'm Casper. And I remember I was using like some toner or something, and I didn't realize for a long time it had like whitening effects in it. Now it's an amazing toner, one of the most amazing toners I've ever used in my life. Child, like, amazing. But the last thing I need is something that's going to make me more white. Like that's ridiculous. So, I mean, I didn't know it had whitening in it, and I wouldn't buy anything with whitening in it because that's just ridiculous. But if you, the light's green. But I think if you're exposed enough to these beauty standards, like you're exposed to any beauty standards, you may start to feel the same way. It depends how susceptible you are to peer pressure. You might start to hate how tanned you are, wish you were pale. You might start to hate being curvy if you're a woman and actually like want to be really, really, really skinny. Whereas before you were interested in Korean KBeauty or skincare and stuff, you had no desire to be skinny. You were actually like more with the movement of like being curvy that the West pushed and is now backtracking on. Which brings me to another point. So, the beauty standard in Korea has pretty much stayed the same, pretty consistent for many, 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 many years. There hasn't been a drastic diversity in the Korean beauty standard for many years. It's always been pale, small face, high nose, big eyes. When they say curvy, they don't really mean curvy. It has a different meaning. Whereas in the West, I think it has changed a lot. Like the early 2000s, it was all very, very skinny. And then around 2014 became the BBL era. I hate that era. Thanks to I can't believe I have to say their names, the Kardashians and all of them. Yeah, I should go this way. So, you know, it's kind of changed a bit in the West, but what's interesting, I have my little theory. I love theories. At the moment, the early 2000s is trending. So, being skinny is back in fashion again, back in fashion, like a body type back in fashion. Very weird, but it is true. And even like they're noticing a lot of celebrities like removing their BBLs, Brazilian butt lift, if you don't know, when you get fat from your own body injected into your ass to make your ass bigger. And it's very dangerous and has a really high mortality rate. However, there is now a resurgence of the early 2000s style, fashion, music, everything is like popular again, and everyone's like out buying Juicy Couture tracksuits again, and really like, woo, the early 2000s. What's also trending at the moment is K-pop, Korean music, is now in the mainstream Western media's consciousness. BTS are everywhere. Blackpink are now quite well known. And we're seeing Vogue and big brands and stuff actually pushing K-pop. And K-pop is actually becoming like quite popular in the West. Now, what I think is very fascinating about this is that along with the push of the early 2000s skinniness, K-pop pushes the standard of slim is beautiful. And now K-pop is trending. And as soon as I saw like K-pop finally breaking through in the West, I had a huge feeling. As soon as I saw, okay, K-pop is now actually like popular in the West, I just felt like, okay, this is it. Being really, really, really skinny is going to be the beauty standard again in the West. And was I wrong? Is it the only reason? I don't think so. I think it's a lot of things. But I definitely think I do personally believe my own theory that K-pop is contributing to this whole new thing of skinniness. What's interesting about the Korean beauty standard too is it has a little bit of a deeper meaning than just people want to look beautiful. And, you know, it's pushed on them by society through marketing and through people being very brutally honest and telling you, I think every Korean woman has heard, oh, you look so tired today if you don't wear makeup. What I think is also interesting is how if you apply for a job, you have to put your picture on your CV. And there are lots of people who don't get a job because they're not attractive enough, which is really, really bad. So parents will pay for their children to get eyelid surgery to make their eyes bigger, double eyelid surgery, a nose job to make their nose higher, whatever treatments, when some Korean people, women are like maybe as a graduation gift before going to university or after university. And the parents see it as like becoming more beautiful is a kind of a gateway to more economic success, as in we're not giving you a nose job and eyelid surgery just so you can have them and you be beautiful. We're giving them to you so that you can get a job, because people will discriminate against you if you're not beautiful. And car coming. Sorry, it's a Tesla. No, it's not. It's a hybrid Nissan Ioniq. Not Nissan, Hyundai. Yeah. No, not that way. I went the wrong way. So they see it as an investment into your future. And of course, yeah, you'll be more beautiful. That's good. But they see it as like, well, if lots of qualified people go in for a job interview, but you're the most beautiful, you'll get picked above them. So us giving you this surgery is helping you with your career. So I find it fascinating that, like, in other countries, beauty is just beauty. It's nothing really to do with like you wanting to become like working as an office worker or something like that, or a good job. But here it's kind of like, huh? Do you want your child to fail? Aren't you going to like give them some surgery so that they can be successful? It's very much like mingled It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just a person with an opinion who talks to people and looks into stuff. It seems to me that it's kind of like more mixed up, beauty and success into one. And for some parents it's like, oh no, we're not giving you surgery like so you'll be more beautiful, we're giving you surgery for success. Like you're becoming more beautiful so you'll be able to get a job and be successful. Another thing that's interesting to me is sometimes makeup here is seen as like good manners, in the sense of if I woke up in the morning and I went to a job interview and I didn't brush my hair, I didn't brush my teeth, I don't have a shower, and like I just wear a pair of tracksuit bottoms, that's not really good manners for a job interview, is it now? Like you're not really putting your best foot forward and showing them that like you're serious about this role and like you want to be taken serious as a candidate. Here, putting on makeup, especially for women, is kind of seen as like a manner thing. People have kind of said things like, oh, you know, it's good manners, like, oh, why are you not wearing makeup today? Like, that's not really good manners to other people. And that's very different, because in lots of countries, putting on makeup is just seen as like a choice. Like if a woman wants to put on makeup, cool, that's great. If she doesn't, all right. And it's like that whole thing of kind of, well, ooh, I got a text. It's like, well, if she wants to wear makeup, cool. If she doesn't, don't. And it's no way, oh, she's unprofessional because she's not wearing makeup, or oh my God, how dare she meet me without makeup. It's like, oh, I didn't even notice you weren't wearing makeup, or like, I don't care, I don't notice those things. So that's very different. Let me check my points. I wrote down some other points I wanted to say. Yes, a 2009 study showed that South Korean women had lower self-esteem than American women. That's according to thevo.com. I will link that. The last thing I want to talk about is Escape, the corset. There we go. So, now the problem is, if you go online, there's just so much that is just not true. And I just cycled past a couple who are kissing. That is so juicy. That's so cute. Oh, that's so romantic. They were like, it was like The Sims where you click like passionate kiss. They had their arms wrapped around each other. It was very sweet, very caring, but like in an alleyway. Are they having like a secret love or something? Like, do their parents not know? Cute though. I like that. We need more of that. Like the Black Eyed Peas sang, you know, where is the love? Like that little thing. But there's a lot of about the whole beauty standard in Korea. Like there's people, especially women, who are like terrified to come to Korea because they're like, oh my God, what if someone thinks I'm ugly, and what if someone judges me, and yada yada yada. Honest, if you're ugly in your own country, you're going to be ugly no matter where you go. So get over that, because that's not changing no matter where you go. So you shouldn't stop yourself from doing what you want to do in life and not traveling because you're scared someone will think you're ugly. Because trust me, there are lots of people who think you're ugly, but they don't say it. So just be you and do what you want. And also, even the most beautiful women in the world, there are people who think they are ugly. Does it matter? Does it mean it is true? No. It's just someone else's opinion. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's not exactly how South Korea works in general, but it is something to take into consideration. But the point I'm getting at is that think about a stereotype about your own country or a crazy statistic about your country. Now, is that statistic true? Yeah, it probably is. But does it mean everyone is like that? Obviously not. And if you go to anywhere, you'll meet lots and lots of different people. Like, if you go to a country that has a reputation for being unfriendly, you're always going to bump into some people who are friendly. Or if you're from a country that's known for something, but you aren't and your friends aren't, then you're not going to experience that. Are you now? No. So there are many groups, but many Korean women want to fight against the beauty standard and the harshness of, I suppose, wearing makeup mostly. And it is a movement called Break the Corset, where women are where women are getting their makeup and they are like smashing it and like not wearing makeup anymore as like a protest against the strict beauty standards here. And it's also linked in a lot to feminism and like how they just want the choice to like not wear makeup. They don't want it to be expected of them to wear makeup every day. They don't want their boss to go, you need to wear makeup, and like destroying the makeup and stuff is just a representation, a metaphor of like it should be our choice to wear makeup. And this makeup, like how a corset constrains you, this makeup is constraining us. And not break the corset, escape the corset, it's called. I had to check because I knew I had it wrong. It's called escape the corset. So yeah, there's many movements of like people who are just breaking out against the norms of like what society dictates of them, of the harsh beauty standard, you could say. And I think I am a person who is clearly not Korean in any way, shape, or form. So I wanted the insight of my Korean friend. So I asked her about the Korean beauty standard.
My name is Tian. and I'm in the middle of my 20s. Now I'm working as a marketer in a startup company, and but trying to get a new job for my career. And like I'm such a good friend with Ash, and that's it.
So, for someone who doesn't know, what is the Korean standard of beauty?
There are a lot. Start with face, like we regard like a small face is kind of a one of the beauty standards. So like if some Koreans tell you that like you have such a small face or small head, it's a compliment. So that's it. And also like eye, we that we have a lot of plastic surgery for double eye. What is that? Yeah, double eyelid surgery, and also like bigger beautiful, like more, yeah, bigger eyes are more beautiful, so they do the surgery for that. And also they do like this one, like they like do some kind of thing here so that they like, what is that, make their eyes bigger, and also here too. And we also put something underneath the eye here. Yeah, like when you have a big smile, there's like you see it. Yeah, we call it 애교살. So they put something here for making it. And also we like the nose. We really like Western nose, like higher and like smaller. What is that? Nostrils? Yeah, smaller nostrils. So they do this one and also this one too, like this. And yeah, like about like here with the two stuffs, like they make their like here like this.
Constant smile?
Yeah, and also they put like this. So we do a lot of stuff. It's Korean beauty, and also we appreciate about girls' body. We appreciate like really skinny body. So we are not that familiar with like Beyonce body, like glamour body, just like as you guys see the Korean idols, they're really skinny. Yeah. So yeah, that's Korean beauty standards pretty much.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't see it positive. I would say it's more like the negative, because it's all about like teenagers. They just see a lot of celebrities in TV or like mobile somewhere else. They just try to be like that. It means that they have to eat less, even though they have to like enough food because they are in they're something like they have to grow up still, but they just don't eat, and they put makeup a lot even though they don't have to. And
What age is that?
I mean, even elementary school, it means like 10 years old. From 10 years old in global age, Korean girls are like normally starting putting on makeup, I guess. Middle school, obviously, all the girls. Elementary school, some girls. So anyway, they put makeup, and they always in a diet, even though they don't have to. So I think it's negative.
Do you personally feel a pressure to be beautiful all the time?
Not all the time, but sometimes, yes. Yeah, I really do. Especially body. Yeah, so I think Korean people think is body like mirrored the way they live. You mean like if they are in really good shape, they automatically think that they live, I don't know, like diligently. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of thing. So I am not that skinny compared to like normal girls in Korea because they're really skinny. So generally I'm not that skinny, but sometimes I feel like I have to lose my weight like this. In California, I was really skinny. They call me like slim, which I've never heard in Korea. Yeah, like so, I was like, am I? So they always like you're too slim, so you should like eat more like this. So okay, then I did, and I just ate a lot of peaches, and I got like 10, more than 8 kilograms there. But I don't feel it problematic at that time. But when I came back to Korea with that body, yeah, I found, oh my god, I should lose weight like this. I should exercise and I should eat less like this. So different. There are so many people with so different body shape in California, and they don't feel it weird. Like, okay, let's say there is a really overweight girl, like more than 100 kilograms. They don't see it like really weird, and they don't even look at her. But in Korea, we just like look at her, like stare her like this. So we don't say like something bad about her. Yeah, some people really does, but normally we don't do it. But we think it's not normal, like abnormal. So it's different.
Do you have any last things you want to say about the Korean beauty standard?
Korean beauty standard. Like, I don't think it's really a big problem as like unless they do a lot of surgery for that. Like about body, we can just try it by exercising or going to gym. I think it's as some aspects it's really good because it makes you healthy. But about plastic surgeries, it costs you like a lot of fortune. But if like it doesn't matter if you have enough money, but if you're not, it's a huge problem. And also some surgeries really harms you. So yeah.
Like what surgery would harm you?
Like this one. Like some people just like cut their jaw bones.
Yeah, jawbone.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. And also like, I don't know the exact English terms for it, but they just like the fat about their fat. They just like
Fat dissolve injection.
yeah. So about fat, it has a lot of side effects, and those two are really dangerous, I think. So if you're just like pursuing beauty standards within a like healthy status or state, it's not bad, but just don't do it with harming yourself. Yeah, that's it.
If you want to be considered as a guest in the next podcast episode of KBeauty Krew podcast, email me at kbeautycrew with a K @gmail.com. Thank you for listening.